My name is Bernard Sinclair, aka Bolo. Pass this now. I think it's around 15 seconds. Yeah, somebody record it just the other day. It's around 15 seconds. Maybe I can do faster, but I think that I would stick. I'll stick to like 15 seconds. I don't think that it's a base job, and don't think that it's not recognized, because you or that one person, can make a big difference in street vending, because you can make a name for street vendors. In all your endeavors, don't leave the Lord out of it. My name is Bernard Sinclair, aka Bolo. It was at mixed school. I got that name from a guy they call Big Man. That time it was break. It was at break, and we were wrestling, fighting, kung fu, karate, that kind of stuff. And a guy was actually swinging a broomstick at me, and so I decided in my mind, well, okay, he's swinging that broomstick, I can take one shot and grab that broomstick and beat him with the broomstick. As soon as I took the shot, grabbed the broomstick from the guy. So I hear somebody saying to him, "Yo, Bolo." And since from that time, that name stuck with me. From this year, I think it's 25 years. Somebody reminded me, "Boy, you're in that business for 25 years." I say like, wow. My name is Bernard Sinclair, aka Bolo. Pass this now. I think it's around 15 seconds. Yeah, somebody recorded it just the other day. It's around 15 seconds. Maybe I can do faster, but I think that I'll stick to like 15 seconds. I don't think that it's a base job, and don't think that it's not recognized, because you or that one person can make a big difference in street vending, because you can make a name for street vendors. In all your endeavors, don't leave the Lord out of it. Well, it never came to my mind that I would have been an entrepreneur of my own. But I thank God that He has given the idea and given me that gift. Because I think from when I left Rosa Boys School, I think I had to leave school very early from Rosa Boys School. I launched out maybe from 14 years. I had to leave school. Started working at 15 years at the it was a textile company at Kenfield called Silver Star, and I started there working at 15 years old. I started working on the ironing boards, ironing the clothing and stuff like that. I used to iron the samples, I used to iron many clothes, and the targets there for production of clothes was 1,500 shirts a day. But every day I used to make that target. But one of these days I went and I told my supervisor, I'm not pleased with me getting less salary than the others, because I'm doing the same amount of work that they're doing. So I took it up and I said, well, my supervisor name was Mr. Haw. So I said, "Mr. Haw, let me tell you, I'm not pleased, or you will have to bring down my target. You'll have to bring down my target, or else you'll have to bring up my money." So he told me, well, I cannot talk to him, so I have to go talk to the manager. So when I went to Mr. Charlie to the office, I said, "Mr. Charlie, I have a problem there. My target is 1,500 shirts, and I make my target every day, and my salary yet is lower than the others." So he said, "Well, you little boy, those others are big men." So I tell him, "Well, Mr. Charlie, that doesn't make much sense to me, because me, little boy, supposed to get little boy target. I needed a little target." So he recognized and he realized, well, no, that guy is trying to work something on him. So I told him, "Mr. Charlie, let me tell you, little boy, you have to bring down my target. Because if it's little boy, I'm little boy, you have to bring down my target. Or you raise my salary. He say, oh, you. He say, all right, okay, no problem. Because you make the same amount with them and you make your target. So he say, well, don't worry. Next fortnight, I'm raising your pay. So I got my pay raised to the level of the other guys, you know. So that was my determination. I would start like 7:30, maybe even finish like 2:30, you know, on that target. So that's where I started maybe thinking about speed. And then from that end, I think the factory closed after. And then soon after, I went with Daddy's son, maybe 16. So I used to carry the juice and carry the stuff, you know, carry things for him. I was just back and forth. I was the messenger, just doing that stuff for him, you know. And then maybe around 17, 18, I started selling for him because one of these days we were going down by Social Security and by Scotiabank. He told me, listen to me, I have to go to the bank right now. I have to go and do a business deal. I need you to stand in right now to start selling for me. And boy, just a nervousness take over me because I know him well. That his son selling that bread so fast, boy. How am I going to do that? You know? So he just gave me that exposure right away. So I say, what? Wow. I say, boy, it doesn't matter, boy. I have to try that, boy. And next thing now, I started trying that. But the most thing is, behind the scenes, when Daddy's son used to come back and bring back onions, we used to practice a little thing, you know, cutting the bread and stuff like that. But it's a little bit tricky with that bread cutting in that wax paper because now the bread used to slide a kind of way on that paper. And if you don't get that right, you might cut your hand. So I have to get all those things there right. So I started developing my skill, watching Daddy's son, you know, and desiring that I want to be like him, you know, doing the bread fast. And I could remember we used to take stats of how fast we used to do that bread. And next thing one time we recorded that I recorded that I put a bread with ketchup, pepper, mayonnaise, mustard, everything on that bread in 5 seconds. That was I don't know if I can do that again, man. It's 5 seconds that was recorded. And then he fell into a little depression. Then I had to take on the business up, you know, and bring it to what it was, to bring it back to because if we had just given up, that business maybe would have been dead. But I had to take it up. So I took it up with the family. I took it up as if like it's my own. I treated them like it's my, you know, my own brother, and it's like my own business, you know. So I had that love, that energy. When I first started for Daddy's son, the routine was from River Street down to Social Security. That Social Security would have been the last stop, and after Social Security would have gone back home, you know. So like all the way driving from River Street, stop by Scotiabank, start selling there. Then the next stop was Cable and Wireless, and then the other stop was Social Security, until I think my stop became like at Scotiabank, and then at a certain time I could not even reach to Scotiabank. The stop became permanent at River Street, you know, and then they started that Rosso project, that sewage project, and then we had to move from River Street. So then from River Street, we moved to the Arch, you know, and then we were doing pretty well at the Arch there. We stayed at the Arch for a little while until we got a little problem for selling at the Arch and stuff like that, whether we were cleaning it or not. But we got a little problem. So, but then they came back and resurfaced the street, and we came back to River Street. The cat that I used to work on Daddy's son, it has a special compartment where you could send in your knife and your fork, you know, and that used to be like an additional entertainment for me with that cat. You know, I used to love that cat because now, when you see, I send the knife inside. You know, when I send it inside, the fork used to come out, you know, I used to pull it out in my fingers. My fingers used to do a lot of things. So it's like, you could never see that change. It just used to change like magic, you know. So I enjoyed that little part. I was wishing that my cat that I have now would have that feature on it, but it doesn't have it. But That was a nice part I used to enjoy. Sending the knife and the fork inside there, and through that little hole. Maybe it was about uh, 2 inches by 2 inches, something like that. The hole was. So I had to send the knife inside there, send the fork inside there. So it's like when I send the knife inside there, the fork comes out one time. Send the fork, the knife comes out. So it's like my finger used to play. Sometimes my finger used to get a little knock, But yeah, that was all about the fun, man, and the entertainment. People love to see that too. So I used to love to entertain them. And then I got married, and then things had to change because for one, I don't know, God was maybe moving because I was really comfortable, right? Working with Daddy, Son, and them, right? And I just got that feeling, and next thing now is as if they were kind of like turning on me because as if like I got married. And the year I got married, the Christmas, usually we usually get bonuses at Christmas. And imagine for that Christmas, I was married, I got no bonus. Man, I was broken. I was broken. I was checking why is this happening to me? But I just realized that it was God working in my heart to take me out from my comfort zone. I was too comfortable in that zone, and He needed me to move into another direction. So at that time, my wife influenced me that we could get a cat and we could sell I could sell for myself. I was a bit nervous, venturing, not knowing what will happen. But somebody encouraged me and tell me, well, you know something? It's not going to be that you're starting all over. It's going to be a continuation from where you started from Daddy Son. And I realized that from the first day I came out with my business. And then when I started selling, it's like boom. It just started from the top. It's not like I started from the bottom and rise again, but it's like from the level I was, it just continued. So another lady encouraged me and said, young man, she was maybe one of the first customers to come by, man. She said, young man, I encourage you, that lady living in Guadeloupe, I encourage you, keep up the good work. I see you as a promising young man, and I'm buying in your hand to encourage you, to continue on that way. So I started, and I was nervous, but then it just picked up, and my business just started to just flow. And then I realized why God was making me uncomfortable in my comfort zone to make me somebody who has their own business and employ other people. And when I started off with 3 workers because they had to do prep for me, because I started doing it on my own, but then the work started too hard, so I had to get people that prep, do the codfish, do the smoke rind, do the onions, do the sieve, just cut up the stuff, and pack it in the fridge. So next morning I just come, put the oil, and just season up the thing, and let it taste good. When you see me on the street, I always have a smile because I just love serving the people. I love dealing with the people. And I don't think it will do any better for me by people tell me, well, why don't you go in a building? I tell them, no, the whole thing will lose. I will lose that vision of like somebody's passing by and, just see me in my swiftness and say, boy, to me, I feel like a Bolo bunjao today. Let me stop and just get one. My name is Bernard Sinclair, aka Bolo. Pass this now. I think it's around 15 seconds. Yeah, somebody recorded it just the other day. It's around 15 seconds. Maybe I can do faster, but I think that I'll stick to like 15 seconds. I don't think that it's a base job, and don't think that it's not recognized, because you or that one person, can make a big difference in street vending, because you can make a name for street vendors. In all your endeavors, don't leave the Lord out of it. My journey starts around 6 o'clock in the morning, so it starts from the kitchen. But thank God right now that I have my wife now gets up at that certain time and does that for me, so that takes out a big weight off of me.
I wash all the containers before I start, all the cutlery, everything that's to be used in the business. I wash my hand, my rings are off. And then we launch into the preparation.
By myself, I think it used to take me about maybe 2 hours. Maybe doing that, preparing for that stuff. But right now, it takes my wife maybe about an hour.
Okay, normally work begins, prep 2 I call this. It begins at about 5:30. Today's an exception because we waited for the cameraman, and the onions and side and work done by the staff members the day before were placed in the fridge, the refrigerator, and it's out now, and that's when we begin. We have the onions, I put the onions together, and the cut fish. And then also, later down we're going to do the hot dog, the sauce for the hot dog. And this takes roughly about 45 minutes to get everything going on the stove. And that's the time the stove now takes over.
Yes, now it's time to the beverage. It used to take me maybe 2 hours and a half to pack up, but now it's less time now because my wife is assisting now.
Yeah, and first thing when I get up in the morning, I open my eyes. We wake up with the sound of the television, which is cute, and I lie in my bed and I know it's a new day. But first thing my mind, it comes on the Lord. It's a new day. Thank you, Lord, for waking us up. Thank you, Lord, for giving us strength. Thank you, Lord, for giving us life. You know, and then when I keep thanking Him, I feel the grace for a new day begins to shine. So I look at the outside and I see the sun. Even when it's raining, it's still wonderful. You know, because that's just added blessings and showers of blessings for other persons out there. The farmers who need to bring the fruits for us. The farmers who need to attend to their own business. You know, so everybody gets a share of the pie. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. Whether it rains, whether it shines, it's God. And then it's time for my business to go downstairs.
Saturday is a short and what I say, a short and fast days usually. You know, the day is short, but people keep moving faster because now it's weekend and people have to get their stuff at the supermarket and stuff like that. So sometimes they pick up the snack, you know, very quick. So on Saturdays usually sometimes it's a very busy day. Okay. That's the one of our workers that just walked in. She's the one that does the bottles on the weekend and the cooler. Make sure she cleans it up and so like that. And the bottles. She's really Yes, I know. I need to know to solve this problem.
Is it your business?
Yes, it is. You're in my car.
And give what income management? No, just because it's your car. That's it's your business.
Yeah, it's my business.
You better do good instead of me like this.
Lady Gaga. Jelly, don't
talk about Lady Gaga.
Don't talk about Lady Gaga.
I know who is Lady Gaga. She don't know.
She doesn't know and she want to be like Lady Gaga.
I know some of it. I some of Lady Gaga.
Jayla, I hope you're not listening to Lady Gaga.
She listening more to Lady Gaga. A lot.
Usually I leave around like quarter past 7. That's a clear time for me, but today I left at 25 past. So we are kind of like stuck in the traffic. You okay, Ebenezer? My wife had a vehicle. She had a car, a Nissan Sony. So we started actually on that Nissan Sony, burning down the things to the cat. You know, but the first time I had the cat, I think I had already bought a van or something like that. So I bought the van from Voice of Life at that time. So I started my car, and then I got a van from Voice of Life. And then my van got into an accident because I had a guy driving for me. So then I decided, well, the van looked like it was almost a write-off. So I sold it and I bought a new pickup. Pick up my eyes by Macmillan when on my way down, and then stop by Foxy. Pick up my bread, and by Ruben, pick up my whole wheat bread as well, and then head to town, and then when I reach the town, set up, put down my coolers, my bench, you know, put the juice, put everything on that cat. Well, most times the cat arrives before me. It's packed, and then all I have to do is just shift it, and then pack in the spot, and then pull it back, and then set it up. You know, put the umbrella, put the bunjao, put all the rest of the stuff on it, you know. So there's a policy that I have. People come maybe standing there waiting for me, ready to rush me, but I tell them, well, no, you have to wait a little bit. It's gonna take 10 minutes for me to set up, because when I set up, I just want to go. Just remember, I have a check to drop for green. That's my main shopping component. We have to make another run again because there's no parking spot there. So I have to make another run to see if I get a parking spot for the van. Because I must get the van parked before I offload it. So I'm making another run to see if I get a parking spot there. So making that run, maybe I might have to take out maybe one of CIS signs. Sometimes they allow me to take a sign and come into park in that spot there. So today looking like I might have to do that, or I might have to get the Muslim partner to move his car.
New red phone saya. Tapi saya guna distribution saya, no time to stand still. When you have to check there, to Google like speed. No, I don't think.
Okay.
Okay. Come on.
NDFD gave us our first loan. Well, my wife could have gone and take the loan because she was working at Voice of Life. Thank God she was a manager there, so she decided to go and take that loan, and we could take that loan for, I think we took a loan for $26,000 because to get the cat to Dominica took around $19,000 EC, and to stock the business, and so took the rest to stock the business with saltfish, onions and oil and all that stuff, to stock up. So NDFD was my first support, and I think I got no problem because they told me to, whilst I was working at Daddy's Son, they told me to take little records and how much I would make a day and stuff like that. and the board met, and they never gave me any trouble. So I had people maybe behind me that I didn't even know that I had all these people behind me waiting to push me on.
One codfish, one smoke? Okay. Okay. Ketchup? Tamarind, ginger beer, and guava.
I go back.
Alright. Ketchup?
Can make a mess.
Yes, sir.
Bolo, we got guys.
Yeah, bro.
My name is Bernard Sinclair, aka Bolo. Pass this now. I think it's around 15 seconds. Yeah, somebody recorded it just the other day. It's around 15 seconds. Maybe I can do faster, but I think that I'll stick to like 15 seconds. I don't think that it's a base job, and don't think that it's not recognized, because you or that one person, can make a big difference in street vending, because you can make a name for street vendors. In all your endeavors, don't leave the Lord out of it.
Alright, today is my off day, so that's why I'm dressed in like that. I'm not all in white. Today we're going to repair the cat. So today is an off day for me, but a very unpleasant day maybe for the customers. So we are on our way down to Rennie to get that cat repaired, the front wheels welded, and so we're gonna drop the cat off by Rennie. tell him what the problem is. I had ordered it, but now because I could not change that.
I'm gonna put in the
Go to also city council to ask them for a spot in Roseau for the other cat, Bolo's mobile. Yeah, well, I have a video, my partner there, that's the guy that goes out and get the cat in the morning. That's Bandy Mac. Yeah. Well, I just call him for short Bandy, you know? Bandy, there's Bandy there. He that put in out the cat in the morning to make sure that I come on the road on time. Yeah. So we're on our way down for the cylinder at the church.
And the car wasn't there. Yes.
You live to go in the garden? Okay. Alright. Okay, well, I'll call Ben and tell you expect you anytime. For Bobby. Alright. Yeah, so we were just on the phone now. Contacts for fruits. Guy just contacted me there for me to get some guavas rolling. We're in the times of, I would say, the drought of fruits. But we have a little guava. Partner just coming for some guava. So we'll have guava maybe a little later down in the week. Because for now I think it's tamarind and ginger, you know, that I have right now. And this morning I just got some orange. So that kind of a scarce now, orange and this stuff. So yeah, so now we're going back by Rennick to collect the cards.
while. Don't go on me. I tell you this is no Bolo. Oh!
My day maybe would end maybe around 5, you know, around 5, sometimes maybe 4:30 to the customers, and then the rest of the time is for me to clean the cat and then, you know, clean it for the next day and to bring it and pack. Yeah, because I do my own cleaning of my cat. I store it at the Rosa Market. That's an arrangement made. I pay them monthly around $23 a month. Usually when they say, well, it's raining too much, nobody can go out, or when they call off days, that's the only time that I don't go and sell. But weather on a whole don't deter me from going to sell. Sometimes I get up and I'm going to prepare, whether they say the weather is bad or not. I remember an incident that when they had the December trough, I got up, went prepared, and waiting for that hour man to come. I remember that I went to town maybe 4 o'clock. You know, our breakfast time was supposed to be something like 10 o'clock, and I went to town at 4 o'clock for Christmas time. And I remember coming back home at maybe around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning at my home. So storms do not deter me from going to sell.
Daddy.
Okay, my God.
So right now we have an employee, Alex Benjamin. We have Florence. We have another one that's free, and we have I forgot the employee at sells with me to pour the juice. So that's maybe around six. So and I myself would make 7. It has reduced my load very, very, very much. I don't have all that concentration of sometimes when you see I'm on site having that concentration of pouring juice and selling bread. Before it used to be me alone, putting bread, pouring juice. So I used to do all this on my own, but this part of it is no more, and it's even better right now. And sometimes I used to have to come home maybe and peel the onions, you know, and maybe do the smoke hearing. But because I have that stuff, all that stuff is not in my mind to do. You know, it's a complete relaxed for me. I can more concentrate on what I have to do, selling, and maybe looking at my stock to see how that I need to restock my business. The main menus are the bunjao, that's the saltfish. We make the bunjao with that, and smoke herring. But I mean, hot dogs are always there, but the main stuff is the saltfish and the smoke herring. And the hot dog, the main part of it people really enjoy is the topping of the onions, you know. Sometimes you cut in a bread and it may be just a little crisp, and you cut it and the knife just slides on it and it gives you a little gash. And sometimes you cut the bread and sometimes it's maybe extra soft and the knife maybe might just go a little through it and cut your hand. You know, different experiences. And even sometimes I get cut by the wax paper, the box. Sometimes I go and roll back the thing, and next thing you know, the thing on it will cut me. You know, so you get little different cuts, you know, through that. But that doesn't discourage me, you know. It keeps me going even faster. Some of these cuts are not very bad to say like I have to take a day off. It's just little cuts. At this present time, I think is the buying power that has changed. People don't have the money to buy as much as they used to buy before. Because when I check it, before we used to sell more bread before. Because at that time maybe it was more affordable to people. You understand? And at that time bread used to be like $1.50 for a bread. And a juice is $2. Imagine you getting that today, a bread and a juice, 2 bread and a juice for $5 in this present time. You know you're going to have a rush. People are going to rush for that. But basically, about selling, my thing is about speed. You know, serving people quick, and how to because it's because of my quickness that I can maybe make the money quicker. You understand? But otherwise, if I was very slow, then I would have to, you know, bring up my price a little higher, because I'd have to catch up, you know, with the economy of that, like that. But because of my swiftness, I can keep it at a certain price. Yeah. Right now, I think the bread now is like $2.75 now. So, and the juice is $3.50. So, you know, things has changed and things has gone up. Saltfish, we used to buy that like $2.50 for 50 pound carton. Right now, maybe a carton is like $600. So that's a vast change in the economy. Ah boy, I think I spend more hours standing than sitting though. Yeah, because when I get there, sometimes maybe at 9 o'clock, constant. Well, it starts from when I come down, 6 o'clock, I'm on my feet, you know, till I come home at night.
Bolo, I have tomatoes and kashima. Which one you want? Kashima.
My wife have tomatoes, eh? Kashima. She don't like that one. The other one she like.
The sugar,
the sugar. Yeah.
I like the custard or the sugar she like. Yeah. Okay, take care.
Yeah.
I was a basketball player that used to keep me fit a little bit. I used to play a lot of basketball, but now I'm not really playing any basketball per se. So I'm not really in any physical activity as I was. But what I do now, I've got a compression socks right now because of my standing. I need it for proper circulation and stuff like that for my varicose veins, so they don't get bigger than how they should get. So I have that kind of a socks. But in 2014-15, I went to do my physicals, and there was something that the doctor found there was an underlining. I had low platelets, so they were trying to wonder, well, what? So then we had to do some tests and stuff like that to find out what was doing that. I had to go to Barbados. I had a bone marrow test to find out, you know, if there's anything that's creeping up that I don't know about. But when I went, the test came back negative. That everything came back in the line. So I had no problem. Although they said that it is nothing that I should worry about, but then I wanted to, you know, go through that further investigation. So we went to that further investigation, and everything came back normal. So as from now, I know, well, I'm not really challenged too much with too much physical stuff, you know, so I can still maybe go on for a little while. Sometimes I reach home after 6, 7 o'clock, you know. Sometimes I reach home because sometimes I have to do stops because my wife don't really go to shop, so then sometimes on my way home I have to shop stuff for coming home. So sometimes getting home might take maybe after 7, according to what time I finish, maybe after 8, or according to what I'm doing, 8 o'clock. But I'm a person as well that's good, fully involved in church ministry and so forth. So I usually go to church Bible study on Tuesdays, and prayer meeting on Thursdays, church on Sunday. Yeah. And there's a policy that I have, but I don't do anything on Sundays. Sundays is just my relaxed day, the Lord's day. I take time off like that. Nobody calls me to sell at that time. I tell anybody that calls me, tell me, well, I have a program. Can you do this? Can you do that for me? I tell them, no, this is not my day. This is the Lord's day. So I take that day off from everything else. My name is Bernard Sinclair, aka Bolo. Pass this now. I think it's around 15 seconds. Yeah, somebody record it just the other day. It's around 15 seconds. Maybe I can do faster, but I think that I'll stick to like 15 seconds. I don't think that it's a base job, and don't think that it's not recognized, because you or that one person, can make a big difference in street vending, because you can make a name for street vendors. In all your endeavors, don't leave the Lord out of it. I want to thank God for bringing me thus far, and I thank God that I'm a born-again believer. I spoke with the Lord like a man. I tell him, let me tell you, Lord, I'm not going to look for a wife. Maybe I might look at the wrong person that that you don't want for my life. So I need you to send my wife to me. So next thing now, a Sunday, my pastor came to me and he told me, there's somebody interested in you. I tell him, what? True? He tell me, yes, there's somebody interested in you and they want to talk to you. So I say, wow. I say, that's Lord. I know it's you that's working there. That person has to be the person. So then now I said, well, wow. I could not believe. I said, well, no, okay, Lord, now you have sent the person. When you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't let it drink. Well, I say, well, Lord, this is the time that I have to open out my mouth and speak, So I was excited to meet my wife. My wife that then, she told me, well, I came for a share of fun. It was Voice of Life, share of fun. I came and I went and I brought my pledge that I brought. And she told me that she was looking at me and, and she's trying to get my attention, but I'm not checking that. It's not that I really came for. But after that, the pastor told me, well, it's she. And now, there's an experience that I had now. And I was saying, boy, you know something, man? The pastor told me that lady interested in me. But you know something? I don't have a number. So whilst I was standing on the arch, man, in the morning, I just see that car just stop. A lady ran up the step, come to me and tell me, look, here's my card, here's the number. I was like, wow. I said, Lord, that's the way you work? I said, yeah. So she gave me her number, I say, Lord is good. God is good. So God gave me, when I asked, she didn't even know. She just brought her number to me. And I called her that night, and we spoke. And that night I was even singing love songs to her. Imagine that. Brenda, you know I love you. Oh, you know I love you, Brenda. Brenda, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like this from the start. Brenda, I just want you to know, oh, Loving you's like food to my soul. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was the song. If you want to be a street vendor, I guess your attitude, towards people and dealing with people have to do very much with that. You have to love what you do. Because if you don't love doing street vending, I don't think you're going to be very successful at it. And you have to love it for you to be successful at it. If you are doing your street vending, stick to it. Do it with all your heart. Love what you're doing. Don't think that it's a base job, and don't think that it's not recognized. Because you on that one person, can make a big difference in street vending, because you can make a name for street vendors. And I've encouraged others. Even when Eddie opened his business, he came and asked me, well, Bolo boy, because usually when they started at Christmas time. So they started with all that speed, customers coming because people shopping and stuff like that. But when they came down into the January part of it, they came to me and they said, me boy, Bolo, what's going on, boy? To me, boy, that drive we had, I tell them, just stick in there, just hold on in there, just hold on in there. It will be like that for a little while till it comes to the summer where it will pick up, because I've been there for the years, so I could encourage them, in that when it comes to the summer, yeah, it will pick up a little bit, and then then it will drop a little bit when the school opens. Then for Christmas, it will come back up again. So I encouraged Eddie and I encouraged the snack man as well, in that business. And there's another one that sells on by Jollies as well. I encouraged him as well. I encouraged them. And the other time, the one by Jollies, he had just opened the business and he tell me, boy, what you think I should expect for Christmas? I tell him, let me tell you something. You see you doing that amount for the regular time, please double your amount. Double your bread, double your this for the Christmas, because it's going to be fast. And that day now, that Christmas time, he came and he tell me, boy, I finished already. Boy, you think you have extra bread to sell for me? I tell him, boy, my extra bread is for myself. I want you. I want you. Just do double. I told you that. So I'm not going to help you in that part when I told you that already. So you have to just do what you have to do. So I just want to encourage, if you have street vendor, make sure you make it part of you. Make sure you love what you do. Make sure you love the people that you serve. Don't give the people attitude. If people come with attitude towards you, give them the soft answer, man. Make their day, make them feel love, that you appreciate them and that you are giving them that listening ear. One thing though, I learned that you have to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, you won't do it with that appreciation, that passion. If you have that passion for what you do, that love, if you do anything, put your whole heart in it, put your passion in it. You do what you love.